For every Capricorn, 2021 has likely been a year of getting your finances figured out. The many challenging transits of the past might have reworked how you relate to monetary gain in your life. Consequently, going into this new year, you're having a completely new outlook on dealing with the acquisition of material goods and managing wealth. This newfound managerial intelligence is going to be a huge asset going forward. The first quarter will be when these new skills will be the most useful, as Jupiter will be transiting through your third house of communication. This is a critical blessing considering that Jupiter will be one of the most essential planets this year. It divides the year into two very concise halves for all the Capricorns. The first half deals with the exchange of ideas, or maybe even a potential move, while the second will be entirely focused on the growth of your home and family. With that said, this could be quite the year for Capricorn couples who are trying to have children. Things will still be slowly picking up pace from January to February in typical New Year fashion. The Venus retrograde happening in your first house for most of January might make it a little difficult to relate to others or to get working on projects that rely on other people. This could be due to a need to understand your relationships in a much deeper and thoughtful way. You may feel inclined to take a step back to gain a fresher perspective on these situations. This could be a very pensive time, especially for those of you who are not in relationships. If you have been trying to find a partner, there's a chance that they may show up, but making things work right away might be tricky. The same goes for all other types of relationships, fraternal, business, or otherwise. Though, the first few months are not just all doom and gloom. Jupiter transiting through its own sign will be giving you quite a spoonful of blessings. There's a high chance of moving houses or going on a pleasant short trip at around that time. On a metaphorical level, as long as Jupiter is your third house, January to May, the main focus will be on small transitions. This will be an excellent time to either teach or become a student, so take advantage of it if you've been trying to learn a new skill. The third is also the place of siblings and fraternal relationships, so don't be surprised if you begin to get closer to a sibling or a distant cousin at around that time. To balance some of those Jovian blessings, in March, Mars will be making its first square with Uranus of the year. Stay alert, Capricorn, things might get wild. This might feel a little similar to last year since we had a Uranus and Mars conjunction at around the same time. If you want to prepare yourself for this transit, save as much money as possible through the first few months. Mars and Uranus together in the second house can often push us to make big purchases. Uranus will be in your fifth house, which suggests that this significant expense is likely to be applied towards something fun and exciting. Still, beware of impulsivity. Mars is quite keen on making people make rash decisions. On a positive note, Saturn will also be in that same house that could cool down Mars' impetuous nature, especially for those born during the day. Moving on to April, we begin to really get a sense of the ups and downs of 2022. This month will be going from martial challenges to more Jupiterian blessings, except this time Venus, the other benefic planet, comes in to boost Jupiter's help significantly. Since this will still be happening in your third house, you could think of April as the peak of any third house endeavors you might have started at the beginning of the year. That includes trying to start a blog, taking a new course, visiting a friend living in a neighboring town, etc. The ground will be super fertile for meaningful and practical exchanges of ideas. Since this is also happening at the later degrees of your third house, this will also be setting up Jupiter's ingress into your fourth. You will feel this as a significant shift from a talkative and interactive phase of your year to a much more subdued and homely atmosphere. After the Jupiter ingress into your fourth house in June, be ready for things to get really heated within your household. This is not the heat of the argumentative kind, but there will undoubtedly be a lot of excitement and action going on. This could include a significant home renovation, a new family member, or even just a lot of exciting family parties. The one downside of this transit really will be a lack of rest. The movement will be inescapable. August may get a little weird, though, as the triple conjunction between the north node of the Moon, Mars, and Uranus will be happening in your fifth house. The fifth house is not usually a place where you find many challenges. It's the house of parties, fun, and excitement. Though, with all these planets mingling in Taurus, there may be an inclination towards partying a bit too much. Especially with Mars in Taurus, there will be a lot of stagnant boredom energy lying around, so be aware of where that energy is going. Pay close attention to this month, especially if you have any important planets in your 11th house in your natal chart. After all of that excitement, the planets really start to cool off, except for a very nostalgic and tumultuous Uranus and Saturn square happening in October. This will be primarily a rerun of events that occurred in 2021 around February and December. If you had any financial hiccups or unexpected blessings around those times, it would be wise to plan ahead for a brief comeback of whatever those situations were. Things get a lot slower with the Jupiter retrograde to complete the year, sending it back into Pisces around mid-November. It will stay retrograde almost until the completion of the year, bringing the focus back to the area of communication, learning, and short transitions. This is virtually a mirror of what happened in December of 2021 when Jupiter first entered Pisces, so we'll be going full circle in a very poetic way. It would be an excellent time to reflect on the journey you made through the year and how some of the themes that concluded 2021 have arrived at a resolution. Overall, 2022 starts with a bang on the most introspective note. Thank you so much for watching. Please give us a thumb up if you liked the video. Subscribe our YouTube channel not to miss the next video horoscope. Visit our website, go to horoscope.com, where you can find actual horoscope for today. Download our apps from Google Play and App Store to have your daily horoscope always on hand.